Who would do that?
What they
Stop
steal?
missing everything.
No, you're joking.
We just discovered someone broke into our car and stole all our luggage.
No, Dad, please, no.
They stole everything. They stole everything we got. We had to call the police.
We were all packed up, left the Airbnb, said goodbye to everyone. We were on our way to literally Wyoming to stay the night in Casper. And we just quickly stopped at This Is The Place because for the only reason we wanted to go there, literally the only reason, was to get a shot glass with the temple on it. Because that's hilarious. The reason that the temple on the shot glass is hilarious is because in the religion, we're not allowed to drink, let alone go to the temple if we drink. So it's a bit of a oxymoron because we're not allowed to drink alcohol, but shot glasses are purely for alcohol. First thing I noticed to the right of the door of the gift shop was a press down penny machine, and I collect those. So I got one straight away because I had a couple of quarters and a penny or whatever, and I recorded Dakota pressing the buttons, and that recording is at 2:43. Very important. And then we went straight to the shot glasses. They weren't there. They had Utah ones, but we didn't really care. We just wanted the temple because that's hilarious. And then we walked around or whatever. Dad bought some stuff, and then we left. And then I was trying to take a photo of Dakota doing an angry face, being like, didn't find our shot glass or whatever. So I was recording, and then I hear Aaron go, "Oh no, the glass!"
Who would do that?
What they
Stop
steal?
missing everything.
No, you're joking. No, my video from literally when we discovered the window was broken is at 3:03. So literally 20 minutes we were gone for. We discovered the window was smashed, the glass was everywhere on the road, in the seat. Because we had just packed up our Airbnb and we were on our way to Michigan, everything we brought with us.
They took luggage.
Luggage.
All the luggage.
I had my full size.
Everything, even in our car manual.
Yes.
Our car manual with the registration.
Our car registration was in there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kidding
Car
me?
registration. I had a hairbrush in the.
Not the hair.
I had a hairbrush, just not even in a bag, in the cup holder, and they took that.
What?
Why do they want my freaking hairbrush? It was a travel one.
I think it's because they wanted her DNA to clone her.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably saw my passport photo and was like, yeah. And the only thing they literally left was like Dakota's pillow, some of Dakota's shoes. They didn't see Dad's shoes under the seat. Literally everything else was gone. I'm precious and I like looking good, whatever. I brought my best of everything. Literally everything except for what I was wearing because I was in my road trip clothes. I was like, why are these the clothes I'm stuck with? Anyways, not important. I start freaking out. I'm having a panic attack on the ground. I'm crying. Dad
Were you
runs.
on the ground?
Yeah, for a little bit. Just like this. Just cash. And Dad runs in because he's like, we need to tell someone, call the police, whatever. And I have an epiphany all of a sudden. I'm like, wait, I have AirTags.
Yay!
And so I check my AirTags and I can see they've got all my stuff. And I didn't even tell Erin or Dakota what I was doing. I just ran inside after Dad and I ran to the gift shop. And I was like, Dad, I got AirTags. And then the lady in the gift shop started calling the 911. That's so American. We have 000 in Australia. She gave the phone to me because she was like, oh, she has AirTags. And then the lady asked to talk to me. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was just like shaking. I was like, it says they're at the University of Utah. She wanted to know the exact location. I was like, I don't know. We couldn't zoom in, I don't know. It was just like University of Utah. But then they were actually on the road, so they kept traveling. So the police were like, oh, we'll meet you at This Is The Place. So this is the place we're gonna meet.
Yeah.
And then we were waiting, and then we're outside, we're talking. The ladies from the gift shop came out with their vacuum cleaners with this brush and pan, and we're cleaning all the glass for us. We didn't touch it at all.
We have people vacuuming our car, and the police are on their way. And
Yeah.
There's a few people in the car park just walking past, like being like, oh, what happened, blah, blah, blah. And then this one guy comes up and asks what's happened. And we tell him, and then he's like, oh, do you know who? And we're like, oh, no, but I've got AirTags. And then he's like, well, the reason I asked. Like a movie, pulls out his badge. He's an undercover detective.
Really?
He just wasn't even there for us. He just happened to be walking past. Wow. And we're like, what the heck?
He's the mayor's bodyguard.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He had a look at my phone, and was looking at locations. And at that point, because my AirTags, I have 4 of them. They were only in 2 bags, but they don't update at the same time, which is so frustrating. So my AirTags were actually at that point showing in like 3 different locations. And so he went to the closest one. He got the address for the closest one, and he just drove off. And he's like, "I'm gonna go check." And then he came back not too long after, and he was like, there was nothing there. Because he explained to us, he's like, sometimes when thieves steal stuff, a bunch of stuff, they'll just park up and they'll go through it quickly and then dump whatever they want, whatever they don't want.
Yeah.
When he came back, he went and like organized this whole security camera footage for us with the guy that worked there, and they were like looking at it and stuff, and the security camera was so far away because the one closer was we were behind a tree, so the one far away could see our car, but it was just so blurry that you couldn't even tell what make the car was. You could just see the rough shape, the headlights, no license plate, but they saw like a man in a white shirt, but it looks like there was multiple people, but they didn't get into the same car.
Oh,
because
really?
the second vehicle, so the first vehicle that stole our stuff pulled up next to our car, but then apparently there was another guy that went off camera, so we just assumed there's a second car.
Yeah.
So here we are praying that my AirTags are with all the rest of our luggage.
Yeah.
Because we could track my AirTag, but we have no information on what the other car looks like, what the guy looked like. There's no AirTags in anything. Because I had 4 AirTags, but they were only in 2 bags.
Oh, man.
So it was kind of like, and then, because I had faith that we'd find the AirTags or we'd find our luggage.
Yeah.
But I didn't have faith that we would find our belongings in the luggage.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, they're going to find them. I didn't hide them or anything. They're just in the bag loose.
Right.
And so they either would throw them out or they take just the stuff they wanted and then throw my whole luggage out.
Yeah.
When I was watching my AirTags, they were going to, like, all the touristy spots. Like, they even went to East High, like the High School Musical high school.
Yeah, yeah.
They must have been just sitting in the car park waiting. So the police finally rocked up. Jan from the gift store was handing out water bottles because I refused to sit in the shade. I didn't leave the car once, unless to pee. Which she walked me to pee. She was so cute. She was literally so cute.
Yeah, but did you get free shot glasses? That's what I wanted.
No,
You should have got free
we
shot
didn't even
glasses.
get them because the only shot glasses that were there were ones that said Utah. We don't care about Utah. We just wanted a temple. But she was lovely. She calmed us down. They taped up our window. Dakota was great too. She wasn't scared. She was calm the whole time. She was doing a lot better than I was, anyways.
Dakota, what happened to our car?
A bad guy got smashed on window. Police are coming. Window fixers will come
Yeah, I better call them.
to get a new window.
Yeah, to get a new window. Yeah, that's right.
But new windows are fun.
New windows are fun?
Yeah, but bad guys are ugly.
Ugly.
Yeah.
The detective talked to the cops, explained everything, like organized the security footage with them and stuff. And then they were just, all they really could do was watch my AirTags. Because we had really nothing else to go on. So we waited for them to stop, and then they finally did. They stopped in Draper at the Maverick, like the fuel station.
Yeah.
And so Officer Mackay or something?
Mackay?
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 Darren, his name's Darren. As soon as they stopped, Darren called the Draper police station, sent them over to that fuel station. By the time they got there, they were gone. But fuel stations have cameras.
Yeah.
So if just from the fuel station, which we didn't actually find out till later because he didn't really keep us updated on the way. We didn't find out till later that they were able to get the genders and the car details from that fuel station. So there was actually 3 people, 2 guys and a woman. Anyways, it explains my hairbrush. Anyways.
And the body wash.
And the body wash.
And the bunny. Oh, no, there's no bunny. Okay. No.
But at that point, we didn't know that. We literally didn't know that. All we knew was that they missed them. And so we just had to wait for them to stop again.
Yeah.
And then they stopped at Boondocks in Draper, which I didn't know what that was until later. It was like some fun park or something.
Yeah.
How would you describe that?
Yeah.
A fun park?
A family fun
Center?
center. Yeah.
Arcade
slash
slides.
like
Fun
miniature
center.
golf.
Yeah. So Darren called the Draper police again, and they were just at the Maverick still, I'm assuming. And so they went straight there, and they found the car. No one's in it. So they've looked through the window. They've gotten our description of all our luggage. Like even Erin was like Googling pictures of her exact luggage to like show them the pictures. And Erin's memory is amazing. She didn't even have mine's easy. Mine's in 2 suitcases that are identical, just in size, and then a black backpack. But Erin had like 3 makeup bags, Dakota's stuff, another backpack, 2 like duffel bags, like just all these separate things that they took, and Erin described all of them, and they could see them in the car. But at this point, we were still like, oh, there's also this unknown second vehicle, perhaps. So like maybe only my stuff's in that car, and the other car's gone. So even though they found the vehicle, I was so anxious. I kept reminding Dad I was anxious. The police that was with us was like, well, I'm gonna head there now. You guys can head towards it. Well, maybe not it, because it'd be pretty dumb if we like parked right up next to them and then they saw our car that they really broke into. Yeah.
So even though this situation sucks, we need to count our blessings. Otherwise we will not be happy. So count our blessings. 1, we're in a place we know. 2, we're in a place that had very helpful staff and they helped us cover the window and gave us water bottles. 2, I had not just 1 AirTag, I have 4. So even though they weren't in every bag, maybe if they found 1 AirTag, they would toss it and not think the other ones were in there. 2, thankful that detective. 2? I said 2.
Or 4.
They're
Lost count.
grateful that detective walked past. He wasn't even here for us. And 5, I wasn't about to grab this. I almost didn't grab this. It's got all my cash and my card and my EpiPen and my AirPods and stuff in it, and I almost left it here. So at least I have that. 3, we have a Apple charger to charge our phone in the car to keep track of the AirTag. I keep saying the wrong numbers.
Yeah, I think one might be up to 6 maybe. And last one is they found the car with our bags.
They found the car. And then another one is that no one was hurt. We have it was a very, very bad security camera, but we have a security camera, and they were able to just zoom, at least get the shape of the car. I already said this, but I want to reiterate that we're grateful that we weren't halfway there and we're in somewhere we know, where we know people, because this could have happened when we were already, what's halfway?
South Dakota, Iowa.
We could have been 2 states away,
Yep.
you know, because then what do? Do we go back here where we know people, or do we keep going? Like, we couldn't stay at night anywhere since it's going to get broken into again.
And Dakota is really good humoured.
Also, another thing is that I take videos of everything. So I took a video as we entered the place, the gift shop, and as we came out. So I knew the exact time frame of when we were in there, and that made it easier to find the footage on the security camera.
Yes, that was really good. So we are kind of stuck now here till we get that window fixed.
And we have insurance.
Yes, we have insurance.
I have travel insurance.
And we have
You have
vehicle insurance. Hopefully our bags are with your bags.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Apparently there's 2 vehicles, and they would only know that because one of them would have gone to another vehicle, so they might have even just taken one thing.
Yeah, right. But they said they looked in the vehicle and saw bags.
Yeah, but we had a lot of bags. They at least found the ones that my AirTag's in.
Yes. Okay, so right now we've got to go down to Draper, wait for the police to call us, and then we'll probably start making plans after that, knowing what we have. Do we have toiletries or not? Do we have a change of clothes? Things like that. So we'll go down to Draper.
I'm also grateful I had 3 tampons on me.
And I am an idiot and I take all my good stuff on vacation.
Yeah.
Why do I take all my good stuff?
So you can look great all the time.
Yes.
Look at you. You look
And
great.
then I let it get stolen.
I got a present for you. But I think you'll remember it for all the bad reasons.
This is the place I got my luggage stolen. Aww. Well, thanks. I own something now. I have a belonging.
You have assets.
I have assets. Something I don't need to put on my list.
AirTag on it. Otherwise, someone will steal your whole boulevard.
Who needs items when you own
Who
a
needs
boulevard?
undies when you have a boulevard?
Oh, I'm a boulevard. It's gotta go in my
No, in
my pocket.
you don't have pockets.
Oh. Yeah.
What would you tell those bad guys?
I would do.
That will show them.
When we were at Harmon's, we took the police advice and we just wrote a whole list of all our things that we could think of and like prices of the things, because we knew we'd gonna have to make a claim, and because I had travel insurance and they have insurance, and it's just like we're preparing for the worst, really. And Dad was kept being like, oh, maybe let's go buy toothbrushes and undies, and I was like, no, Dad, what if they get us stuff back? Come on, what if we get our stuff back? He's like, well, I think the reality is we're just gonna have to get a hotel here, because he called us and he said, yes.
So it'll be a little bit of time. I have to write a search warrant for this car before I can get into it.
Okay.
So I'm working on that right now.
I just got a call from the officer who's on site where the AirTags show. They found the vehicle, but they can't search the vehicle without a search warrant, and apparently that's going to take ages. So they didn't give us any information on the guys, like whether they caught them or not, or they've just pissed off somewhere. No information on that, just information on that there's a vehicle there and they can see at least one of my bags from there. And that's literally it. That's all we know.
I could do with some deodorant.
Yeah, I'd freaking like to change my undies. And we Googled search warrant. You don't Google stuff because Google's always going to tell you have cancer and stuff.
You're right.
And in this case, Google's telling us that search warrants can take up to hours or weeks to get. Mm-hmm. But I was like, come on, like it will only take a couple hours, surely. But then we also found something on Google that told us police can't use a search warrant unless it's between the times of 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. And at this point, it was 7 p.m. So I was like, if they don't get it in the next 3 hours, they can't use it. So I was really confused with that, and we were stressing about that, and Dad's like, we might not get our stuff till tomorrow morning. But then I was so confused, and at this point we had no information on whether they even got the guy, whether they came back, or whether they ran away in that same vehicle. We didn't know anything. Dakota, big shout out to Dakota, being a little 6-year-old. Yeah. Didn't complain once. Wow. She did. Dad, Aaron, and I were all on our phones. I was like, Dad was like updating people, playing Clash of Clans. Aaron was like talking to her mom and stuff, and I was like checking the AirTags. But all on our phones, she didn't complain once. She didn't have her tablet. Everything got stolen. That's awesome. And she was just sitting there, just looking at the baddies. Yeah. And we were like at this point, because our stuff got stolen at 3 p.m. It was 7, so it'd already been 4 hours, and then we waited almost another 2 before we got another call. So Dad's like calling you and trying to figure out a place to sleep. We also took turns to go to the toilet because we were really all paranoid about our window, even though it was taped up. We're like, we're not leaving our stuff. We don't have much, but
whatever
we have. We didn't even open the door again because when the first time I shut the door, you could hear the glass go. Like the glass that's stuck in the sides, and then I taped the inside of the car. So I was like, I don't want to shower, thanks. Glass shower. And so we did. Every time I got in and out of the car, I went through the driver's side, which is hilarious, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And then he called again.
Hi, So you guys can head over and we'll pull these bags out and then just make sure you get all your property back.
Okay, really? Okay, we're like just a mile away, so we'll come now.
Okay, do you know what location it's at?
Is it the Boondocks or whatever it's called?
Yeah, the Boondocks in Draper, so I'm just in the parking lot, so I'll see you there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
See you soon.
You're welcome. Bye.
Let's go!
And so we went down. My heart's literally beating so hard. Like, I started getting directions to my AirTags, so I knew exactly where they were at the car park and stuff. And we found the police, and there's the Darren who was with us before, and then the Draper police. We get out of the car, we walk up to them, and they just don't acknowledge us at all. I'm like, hello, we're here. But we're just standing there, literally about to poop our pants, waiting. But then we see a vehicle with its like hazard lights on, and next to the car is at least my 2 suitcases, open wide, like on the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my stuff. But at this point, I still didn't know if it was rummaged through by them or the police, or if it was even my stuff in it. Like, they could have dumped the contents and filled it themselves. Like, I don't know. My passport wasn't even in either of those 2 suitcases that I could see. It's in the backpack that I thought didn't have AirTag. Even though we were so close to the finish line, I was like, we're not here. But if he walks over with us,
Oh, there's your switch.
and I just run and I just hug my suitcase.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
And I look into the car and I'm like, my backpack's there, which is where my passport is.
Yeah.
But they're like, he's like, oh, I have to get it out and take photos of everything. And
Right.
so,
And when you going into the perp's car, they were like, let me
yeah.
get it on.
So he would one by one take all the bags that they had. Some of the bags weren't ours.
Wow.
That's not one of them. This is mine though. Ooh. Wow, that's my microphones. Rode microphones.
Yeah, I'll just take pictures.
Yes.
And
They obviously hit and run. There was no license plate on the back of the car, and there was half a license plate on the front. Wow. The second half. They had arrested 1 out of the 3. They were caught stealing a license plate in the Boondocks car park. And so one by one, we were like feel like we were like waiting for a freaking, I don't know, what it was scary. We're like, please be something important, please be ours.
Yeah.
And one by one, we would get it, and he'd be like, is this yours? We'd be like, yeah, and then he'd take a photo of it, and then we can look through and be like, oh, it's still here.
And the JBL, gosh.
Slowly getting our bags out, and my passport was there, and slowly we're getting everything back, and Dad finds this bag, and he goes,
Oh, wow. They turned it upside down. Well, that was at the bottom.
oh, was it?
That was at the bottom of the bag.
So it's
And
like a mini computer tower, I
it
guess, basically.
It is. And my hard drives are there. That's good. Okay. Whew.
and I was like, oh, so they have gone through our stuff, obviously, because before that I thought they hadn't. And then he pulls out Dad's toiletry bag.
Oh, yeah. That's my toiletries.
Yeah, that's yours.
Oh, it was in that bag.
Was it?
They did.
Whoa, they did go through it.
That's the greatest present from Mum.
Oh, wow.
So that's. So
Wow.
I mean, they
They
accidentally
did go
put
through
an AirTag in yours.
Oh.
My camera!
And your camera, yeah.
Look, and gates. Are you hugging your tablet? Are you kissing it?
And they even stole our icebox, our esky. But when we opened it,
Whoa, they put ice in it. They gave us ice. We were going to do that, but they did it for us. Wow. With a Gatorade?
so we got. That's why I thought later that's why they were at the Maverick. They got ice, and they also got a Gatorade that was in there, and then a ham sandwich. So if you want a ham sandwich, we should have brought it because we're not going to eat it. The police officer pulls out this crate, this plastic tub of cosmetics and liquids in plastic Ziploc bags, which to me looks like what you put in your carry-on when you're traveling. You know how you have to have everything in that clear plastic bag?
Yeah.
And there was a whole tub of them. So I'm like thinking, this is a lot of luggage, like carry-ons they've stolen and taken the cosmetics out of in this one tub. And so I'm so confused. I'm like, what the heck is this? Is this just their freaking trophies or something? Because there wasn't any other carry-on suitcases in the car. So I'm like, why is this tub of these cosmetics? And that's just one thing. And then they pulled out like another thing that was in my big suitcase. I'm like, okay, I really didn't look at this suitcase properly. I thought everything was in the same place. And then so we all three of us were checking our list that we'd made, like of all the things we'd lost, and everything off the top of our heads on our list was accounted for, except my freaking airbrush
And your body wash.
and my body wash. But I didn't know that till later, till I wanted to use it. But why my freaking hairbrush? A window.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Yes, that's our registration.
That's
Yeah, that's proof they broke in our car.
oh,
Yeah, it matches your car.
Yeah.
that's not ours.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, that's our registration.
Yeah, take a photo of that. Why would you take that? They didn't even have the same car. Because at first I was like, maybe they have the same car. No, they didn't have the same car. They're just bored. Same thing with my hairbrush. So we have to lay out all our like devices and electronical things. He needs to take photo, document that we've gotten everything back.
I guess this matters on the charge that they get, how much valuables they stole.
And so we're packing our car again, and this other car pulls up, and two girls and a guy get out, and then they were talking to Darren, and we're out of earshot. But then they walk up to the car that stole our stuff, and they turn it on, and I'm like, Dad, be nosy, be nosy. He's like, I can't hear them. I'm like, don't ask. And then Darren walks around, and I ask him, like, who are they? And he goes, they're the owners of the car. The car was reported stolen, and apparently the plates were in the vehicle or whatever, and then it went missing earlier today in West Valley, which is completely opposite of this is the place, and so they've already travelled. But then I was like, kind of like, oh, I saved a car. I got the car back, and my head's getting a bit big there. And I wanted to let him know. And so he walks past, and I'm like, and Dad goes, oh, so these people stole our luggage, and it's because of her AirTags that we found our luggage and that, like, found your car. And he goes, oh, yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Probably didn't connect.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to be like, I don't want to assume, but I don't know if he just didn't speak English very well, or if he just was ungrateful, or maybe he was in on it.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Because, and I didn't think that until I saw them take that tub of cosmetics and put it back inside the car.
And they said most of the stuff was theirs anyway. And they didn't even look at the bag that was on the other side of the car.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was on the ground.
So they said, yeah, most of the stuff in the car that we didn't claim was theirs, including the cosmetics, and they took it. And because at first I was just stuck on like, whoa, he's ungrateful. I would have. Dakota and I literally hugging our suitcases, let alone a car.
Yeah.
So that was sus for real.
Absolutely.
And because then when we told our friend Terry Crow, he was saying,
It sounds to me like the guy who came to get his car back, sounds like he is in on it with them, and they were just like, well, if you get caught, just say the car was stolen, and then they won't impound the car.
Yeah, that's right. Because they were going to impound it.
Yeah. So it's probably just they're going around to all the touristy spots, stealing a bunch of luggage, and they're just like, well, if we get caught, like, we'll send you a text or something, you report the car stolen.
To be 100% judgmental, they did look like trash.
because when I asked like when it was stolen, the officer said, oh, they didn't notice until earlier today, but apparently got stolen late last night or something. What?
How's that possible?
Huh?
Well, how would you know?
And then they drove off, and we're just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I would have gone, thank you for having AirTags.
Yeah. Something a little
grateful.
more than, oh yeah?
Like, even if I was out of it, I'd be all like, oh, really? That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Smart.
or even, because me being curious, being like, how did you I even asked him, like, how did you find the owner? He's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And, like, if I was the owner, I'd be like, how did you find my car?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And he just didn't seem curious at all, which really freaking annoyed me. So I was like, the hell? You're welcome.
And we don't know how the arrest was made. We haven't heard that story.
Yeah.
We can find this out.
And, but I guess we're grateful that they didn't steal the whole car.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, my AirTag would still be in the car, but then,
Yeah.
like, how do we get to Draper? And the next day, Dad went and got, first thing, we went and got AirTags. Now they've got AirTags to their stuff. They got AirTags on Dakota's backpack, so...
If they take her with a backpack.
Take her with the backpack.
Now I've got it in the car, so now I can find the car when I park it in the parking lot somewhere.
There you go. And I've got one for my passport now.
Yay! Yeah. I had never thought of that, but
And also the
Serial
numbers of everything.
Because
Take photos of everything.
they can also, if I didn't have AirTags, they could have used, if we had any devices, and they could have used serial numbers to, like, if they sold them or
At the pawn shop.
flag it or whatever. And we didn't have any of that information. None of it. None of my AirTags were hidden. They were in the clear pockets that you can see when you open a suitcase. The only one that was, like, kind of not as obvious was the one in that wallet, but everything else was so obvious. And since then I've put them in, like, you know, the inside lining of, like, the suitcases. I've put them in there, but they could have easily just seen them. They've obviously gone through our stuff.
Yeah.
Because all our stuff was, like, upside down in different bags. So here I'm thinking, selfishly, like, oh, I wish I wasn't here. I wish I wasn't part of this. But, like, if I wasn't, they just had to kiss their belongings goodbye.
Yeah.
And, like, my personal total of, like, my valuables or my items was, like, $2,700. But Dad's and Aaron's, it's just his computer alone is like thousands of dollars, and his hard drives, and then let alone everything else they had. So they literally had tens of thousands.
He said a felony amount.
Right.
Right.
Go away for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want to go visit him in jail and be like, remember me? It's my AirTags, and just give him back his ice, his melted ice, pour it on his head or something. And there's something in our icebox. And
here's your ham sandwich. Where's my hairbrush?
I want you to start a little music player. Ice. Piper, what's the phrase?
Good for the plot. Only because it has a happy ending.
Right.
If it didn't have a happy ending, you couldn't get anything out of me right now. I'd be like, they robbed the wrong car.
Token of our appreciation.